Hi guys, good evening from Europe. Piotr here. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is the market open update right here, right now. The US futures are working, FX market is working right here, right now. So without a further delay, let's have a look what we have when it comes to the charts. All right, so let's start with Nasdaq. We have some heavy losses, but the thing is, right, that's what we're doing here. The thing is that we haven't quite closed below Friday low, right? So of course there is a huge gap down, right? There is a huge gap down here, okay? So that was the close, that was the open. But looks like market may want to retest this late Friday high as well as this initial Thursday low, right? So when it comes to my charts, we are talking about the levels of 8,540 and 8,580, right? So it could be the case eventually we're looking for the liquidity based on 1-to-1 Riley, right? So one of the reason we have this gap down is of course the coronavirus fear and the ways how it's spreading out around, but of course the Chinese data over the weekend, the PMI, was horrible. But guys, now taking into the consideration that when it comes to the China, we had this case with the coronavirus already for quite some time. Well, you know, it might be some kind of the manipulation that everyone is selling, so they will try to push a little bit higher. Anyway, at least for now, nothing when it comes to Fed, right? But of course, the market is looking already for the RBA and RBNZ cut. So for now, I'm looking during the Tokyo session, I'm looking for the levels we were discussing when it comes to the Nasdaq second ago, meaning that I'm looking for the gap close and maybe a little bit higher based on this 1-to-1 on Nasdaq, all right? And then I'm going to decide what next, if still I want to sell the Riley, right? Next is DJ, right? Here, look, same. Heavy losses, but come on, Friday low, holding well. So the same scenario we discussed with Nasdaq, right? I'm not gonna be in rush. I don't wanna sell the breaks because it might be the false one, right? So in case we are going to get during the Tokyo session this type of the price action, meaning that we will try to break, this could be the price action for the real cash market in New York later tomorrow, right? And then finally S&P, same thing, guys. No new lower low, right? So okay, we do have heavy losses based on the fear, right? But no new lower lows when it comes to the indices. All right, so let's have a look what we have when it comes to the FX market. And here, no doubt about it, that market is looking for some, or trying to price in upcoming FOMC meeting and probable cut, right? At least that's how it looks on euro dollar for now. But, well, funny thing is that I'm going still look to sell, at least for now, on this euro dollar. So that's the 15-minute chart. I'm going to show you the higher time frame in a second. I'm looking for some kind of this type of the price action at the top of this megaphone formation. So for now, I'm not gonna do that over the course of the Tokyo session. Probably I'm going to try to make it and monitor over the Europe and US session. Well, what I'm talking about why I'm looking to sell the top of the megaphone, because I'm looking for this supply right here and then right here to hold, right? So either we are going to have this type on this when it comes to the top of the megaphone on the smaller time frame, either we are going to just try to reverse somewhere very close here, so that's gonna be like this, right? Or we are going to try to respect weekly open, we are going to make higher high, and then that could be Europe open on New York open. All right, so looking to sell on the euro dollar. Not sure about the cable, because if you are going to see the rejection of the euro dollar, it might be also the case with the rejection on the euro pound, because there was some heavy weakness going on last week, right? When it comes to the euro pound, so well, it might be the case for the initial pullback. It might be the case on the euro pound. We are going to retest the levels close to 85, and then it could be eventually it could be the rally from here. All right, so no, looks like indices, looks like euro dollar, looks like overall there might be at some point some kind of the risk on bounce. But when it comes to the indices, of course, I'm looking to sell the rallies. When it comes to the euro dollar, also looking to sell the rallies, because I think the one way is the market is trying to reprice the next Fed step, right? But I still think it might be a little bit of the safe haven when it comes to the dollar. So at some point I think we will see some dollar bid, but I'm not looking to buy the indices, right? I would rather wait for a little bit, unusual rally, maybe supported by the coordinated action from the central bankers, and well, then I'm going to try to fade this type of the rally. For now, I'm quite flat, or stand by, or wait and see mood when it comes to the dollar yen, right? So indices, euro dollar, and then watching Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar because of the latest heavy losses, but we do have some action when it comes to the central bankers, right? So when it comes to the central bankers, what we have? We have RBA on Tuesday during the Tokyo session, right? So that's gonna be very, very interesting. The next Tokyo session post RBA, we have Australian GDP, all right? So that's super important, super important. And that's it when it comes to the Australian dollar. And when it comes to the US dollar, we do have ADP on Wednesday, and we have Non Farm Payrolls on Friday, right? So quite interesting day when it comes to the risk. Of course, all those informations going on and in relation to the coronavirus are gonna be monitoring. Well, that's gonna be focus where the market is going to focus on, right? If we are going to get any kind of the surprise data, like earlier today, it was the Australian data, was the PMI above 50. We do have PMI in Europe, right? We have the Chinese KXIN, we have ISM. So any case, we are going to see some kind of the positive surprise from the data. any kind of the rally might be used to try to use the rally to fade the indices, right? Tuesday, as I mentioned, is an Australian RBA rate decision, but also we do have PMI out of the UK construction one, and we have the final CPI and PPI out of the Europe. Wednesday is again, just to repeat, Australian GDP. Then USADP, we have Bank of Canada rate decision. ISM out of the US non-manufacturing. Thursday is an OPEC meeting. That's from the oil perspective gonna be quite important. And Friday, non-farm payrolls. Guys, that's gonna be challenge to trade this week, so don't be trapped. Lower your exposure and watch carefully. Volatility higher than usual. So try to not chase the market too much. Have a great Tokyo session and see you around soon.